Hello, good evening. It is finally 10 p.m. I meant to stream earlier today, but yeah, that didn't really work out. It is a Saturday night, so I kind of, when I've been streaming before on Saturdays, I have been able to, match with people. Even though it was in the afternoon, so late at night Japanese time. But today when I was going to play some like warm-up test games before the stream, I could not match with anyone. And then I matched with one person who was a VP farmer. So I decided that I would postpone the stream. It is now 5 a.m. in Japan. So, I guess there's still like a decent possibility that we will struggle to find a opponent. Now it's telling me that the chat is not connected. God. Okay. Whatever. So yeah, I guess it might still be a bit early at 5 a.m. But,
規則正しい生活は心身のために望ましいことだ。
Yes.
時間があるなら私とファイトしないか。
I have built Overlord for today. I played it a bit yesterday. I played a few games. I really struggled to build a deck because I didn't know. Like I went through all of the different cards, and I feel like the Overlord support, like the Stride support, has been we already matched with someone. That's perfect. I hope it's not the VP farmer again. Because it's just the same guy every time. Oh, perfect. So yeah, I did play this a bit yesterday, but I was kind of struggling. I wasn't sure, how to best approach building this. And I feel like just reading the cards, I didn't feel super confident about, anything. But I did some test playing and I did some net decking. I feel like in general when you build a deck, you just kind of look at the hierarchy cards and just by glancing at them, things kind of start to make sense. But that wasn't really the case with this deck because as you see, very few of the cards have like a higher rarity, so just gonna grab APG. But yeah, I still need to like pay attention very much because all of these cards, like except the for some reason in the net deck they ran the Great, but I guess he works as like a emergency ride because you can just Legion with Neoflame and get some restand and trigger recycle action going. Oh yeah, I also ran like critical triggers. And there we have the bypass, resist, retire. Okay, hang on. I guess we'll call you. No, you. Hang on. Hang on. And do we want to countercharge already? Never mind. Hello. For some reason the chat widget isn't working today. For some reason it just does not work sometimes. Hang on. I'm trying to fix the live chat viewer. It says that I'm logged in and that everything should be working, but it's just not working for some reason. I'll just I'll just keep the chat here next to me in the YouTube window. Hang on. There we go. This is the first time that this has happened. Sometimes it just doesn't connect. Even if I remove the source and then try to log in again, it's just not working. I guess I might have to fix it before I go live, but I never had to do that before, so I don't really understand. Okay, so the one thing that I thought was really hard with this deck is that I didn't know what to stride as my first stride, because all the Overlord strides are like GB2, GB3. Well, this is Siegenberg, but whatever. So I just didn't really know what to do. But you're supposed to use this Blade Master stride, I believe. Right, skip. Okay, this costs a counter blast, but the Blade Master Stride, I think it retires 2 for a counter blast, so I'm not going to activate this, and then I'm going to activate this instead. Or it's just one, I guess. Oh well. And now we want to countercharge. This is free counter blast. I can't use this. I guess I can call the Harlem, and I have 3 of the original Overlord. No, I have 2. Okay, let's just call the Great, I guess. A trigger would be nice. No. He counter charges 2. I was thinking of whether or not I messed up by not activating the Vanguard skill too, but yeah. Because that was... Wow, what is her name? Yeah, Maiden of Lost Memory. This is actually kind of an interesting matchup, I think. Wait, yeah, this is their second stride. That's... wait, doesn't this require there to be... She requires Dream Spinning to be face up in the G zone? This deck is a bit strange, I guess. Or maybe it's just too Galaxy Brain for me to understand. I guess the extra critical is not bad in this scenario, because no one should be able to activate too. Yeah, this might be very bad. No, okay, so no one does not get the critical. Okay. Still, the rest should be okay. Have we seen any... yeah, okay, we've seen stand triggers, so that could be a problem. Right. I kind of want to go this guy. What? Did I misclick? What happened? Did I accidentally skip? I don't understand what just happened. I must have just been concentrating on something else and accidentally clicking past my stride phase. Oh, okay, this... okay, so it doesn't have to boost the Vanguard. It just has to boost a Overlord. Yeah, it's kind of wild I did not die. I had exactly what I needed to survive. Guess we'll go here. It's 18 to 16, so I'm gonna give that to the rear guard. We haven't seen a single heal trigger from my opponent. And they had, yeah. That was weird. It is kind of interesting with the like the 2 critical Vanguard, because it's like it's essentially like damage denying you. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna die now. For sure. Well, I do have 3 heal triggers, but I kinda doubt. If my opponent was also at 4 damage, then maybe, but... I'm gonna have to watch that back and see if I just clicked the wrong button. I probably did, because I definitely had, you know... I had, you know, 3 Great Priests in my hand, so... I feel like my opponent is probably sitting there thinking, oh, why didn't they stride? That was very weird. I guess they wanted to call Overlord to the rearguard instead. But yeah, it was just... I just made a mistake. Yeah, okay. I still thought that was decent for a first game. which I mean says a lot about my standards, I guess. But I did play this yesterday and I was quite confused. And I feel a lot less confused right now. I'm actually in the top 100 right now, which is very strange to me. Because I assumed more people would be playing since it's the final season, but I guess not. Okay, thank God. We are actually matching with people so quickly. That is very, very good. Oh wait, no. This is the same... This is the same VP farmer. I match with this person every single time. Well, I'm gonna beat them this time. But they've been... this is so boring. Do I have any like stories to tell while this just kind of occurs? 7. Okay, thank you for skipping relatively quickly. Because I got annoyed because I ran into this person at some point a while back and they were just being so slow. It was midsummer yesterday, where I might have streamed actually on first day or yesterday, instead of or on top of streaming today. But I was busy. I feel like it's been ages since I actually celebrated midsummer. Probably because we didn't really celebrate during the pandemic. And this is like the first year since lockdown restrictions were lifted. Okay, I'm wasting all of my trigger luck on this game. Thank you for cooperating. But yeah. Oh, I get to rank up. I did actually match with the VP farmer the other day, and it was like they were actually playing a real deck, like a different deck. So it's kind of like when you run into a person who you normally only know from one. Yeah, it's very cute. He made some cookies. But I do like, he looks so incredibly deadpan in the picture. He looks so incredibly deadpan in the picture, and yet he's holding out the cookies. Like, yeah, it's very good. Yeah. But yeah, so running into the VP farmer and having like a serious game together, it was kind of like, you know, when you're used to running into one person only in one scenario, and then you run into them in a different scenario, like when you meet your teacher outside of school, or when you run into like a relative in like just outside somewhere. And now we're not matching with anyone. I have so many Kai skins. But this one is definitely my favorite. But I might change it to something else. Look! Look, there's so many. I'm probably gonna change it later. Average Vanguard character only gets one seasonal. No. What is it? Factoid says average Vanguard character gets like 3.3 event skins. But it's actually a statistical error. Vanguard Kai, no. Yeah. Vanguard Kai, who has 10,000 seasonal skins, is a statistical outlier and should not have been counted. Yeah, I have the complete collection. This reminds me, I passed by my high school director in the market last week, and he gave me a nasty glare. What did you do? This reminds me, when I was in like 2nd grade, so I was like 8 years old. No, 7. Yeah, I was like 7 or 8 years old, and yeah, he does deserve. Yeah, he does deserve the best. Yeah, and so I was like, yeah, about 8 or 7, and we had this like music festival at my school where the kids were supposed to, where every class was supposed to like write their own song and perform it. And because writing your own song is quite hard for like young children to do. Most people did like parody songs, like they just kind of changed the lyrics or changed some aspect of a like popular song. God, and I forgot what the title of the song that we choose was, but we did like a parody of like a popular like local hip-hop artist who had written like this kind of social realism song about like the suburbs and how horrible it was in the suburbs, and we like changed the lyrics to be about school, and obviously it was kind of meant to be a joke, but me and some of the other kids in my class, I don't remember why it was me. Did I have like a writer's credit on the song or something? I don't remember. But we actually got called to the principal's office, and she was super upset with us, and she was like, "Is this how you see the school? Is this meant to be like, you know, criticism?" And she was very, very upset. And even as a kid, I thought it was so strange. I was like, you know, first of all, it's a joke, and I think that's kind of understandable, like based on like the context. It's quite clear that it's a joke, especially because the lyrics weren't like super serious. They were kind of jokey. But I also feel like even if it was serious, then the worst thing she can do is kind of call the kids up to her office and make us like feel bad and like kind of, you know, like instead of doing that, she probably should have like done something else, you know? Because if that was the case and the kids actually were like super unhappy at the school, then making us feel bad for expressing our opinion is not the good way to go about it, I think. So yeah, that was that is like a core memory from my childhood. Hang on. Yeah, I have to retire, I believe. There we go. Yes. Here trigger, please. Doo-doo-doo. I can soul blast. Oh, and I can retire. This is so good. Why is this? Yeah, okay. Call this guy. I genuinely never got in big trouble during high school. I think he might hate us all. Hoppa holds the IP rights to the song. You guys were like 7, extremely wild situation. Yeah, it was strange. It was, yeah, even as a kid I just thought it was very strange. Yeah. Like again, I don't remember why it was me. It might have just been by pure chance. I don't remember being like a class representative or anything like that. Another fun thing that happened in like elementary school was when we were in 4th grade. We had a different teacher. We got a new teacher, and he made us do this like dance routine, and we practiced for ages and ages to do the dance routine. And it was set to, God, I forgot the name of the band, but it was to the song "The Passengers." So it's definitely like, you know, dad music, and he made us do like a long and fairly like elaborate dance routine to this song. And throughout like for the probably like several months that we spent practicing doing this, I think, at least personally, I kind of assumed that this was a thing that you just did in the 4th grade because we'd had similar things before, like writing songs or, you know, doing like bake-offs and all these different events and stuff. So I just thought like, okay, so this is just what the 4th graders do. But no, but then we like put on the dance show for all the other kids, and I just kind of realized at that moment that, okay, this is not a thing that the other classes or the other kids are doing. It's just us. It's just our teacher who wanted us to do this very specific thing. Okay, I can counterblast and activate this, but it's not gonna... Okay, I definitely should not have started that unit because my opponent has no more... I really want to get to GB 2 though. And this was like in the 90s too. Or it should have been like 98 or 90s or early 2000s. But he also got like a camera recorder and he recorded us. And I think I still have that CD somewhere. Okay, I'm running out of time. That's wait, are we talking about my? Because yeah, if you mean my my fourth grade teacher, then yeah, maybe he definitely had some kind of like School of Rock idea about us becoming like a traveling dance troupe or something. It was fun though. I feel like generally it's quite good for, you know, like for the for this, how would you say, like, I think it helps the kids like get along and kind of feel a sense of like belonging in the group when you do that sort of thing. So it was really fun. Actually, I feel like 5th and 4th grade was actually probably the time where I have, like, I think that's probably like the time I had in school where I made a lot of like good memories during those 2 years. Because I think it was like the first time, you know, as a kid when you're allowed to be a bit more independent. Should I go Novell here? I mean, I might. This works when my opponent is at 4 damage, right? And my opponent is at 4 damage. Yeah, it was really fun. We also had like a school newspaper. Or like a class newspaper, I guess. That was also really fun. Because we got to do like independent, like little like school trips and stuff. Okay, that's just sad. Because we got to do like little like school trips. And did that not activate? Is it only if my opponent... Hang on. If it's 4 or less... Okay, never mind. I messed up because I couldn't add it to my hand. Right. Because it went into the drop zone. Okay. God, you need like... You need to be like actually paying attention to play this. Will this activate even? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do like a fire drive check now. That's what this guy does. And I didn't check a single trigger. Okay, so when I stride, I get to add a Overlord to my hand. And then this guy is like, oh, you can add a Overlord from your hand into the soul to deal 1 damage. And that's what I wanted to do, but because my hand was full, the Overlord that I did draw just ended up in the drop zone. So yeah, I have to pay attention. So yeah, we got sent out to do like these little like journalism trips where we would visit a place or do an interview, and then we would write like articles about it, and it would get printed in the school newspaper. And that's the kind of thing that I never really had the time to do when I got older. I don't think we had a newspaper when I was like in high school. Or if we did, I was definitely too busy to have the time. We did a lot of fun things in high school too, but I feel like that's kind of the point of high school. What are the odds of 5 misses in a row? Very good question. I had 13 cards and 2 triggers, so I guess, yeah. This is like a Persona Blast. Sorry, is this a Persona Blast? Okay. Let's try that again. Oh wait, no, it won't work. Let's just go novel this time. I have to discard a PG. Kill this guy. Oh my god. I don't want to run out of time again. I feel like this definitely is not a deck where you should be at risk of running out of time. This guy lets me draw, so I don't know why I'm just skipping. Can I get a trigger? Yes. Okay. You get to draw too. I do have one PG and 3 heal triggers, so I guess I might have like a decent chance of surviving, I guess. So what this guy does is, yeah, I get to put two Overlords back into my deck from my drop zone, and if I do, I get to draw a card, so I definitely should have activated that. Oh, it's Drachma. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna die. So yeah, I should remind. The thing is, since these are like rares, for some reason my mind doesn't compute that these are skills that I need to activate.
Vanguard にアタック。ファーストチェック。セカンドチェック。サードチェック。チェック。ネクタイが邪魔だな。
That was, yeah, I definitely feel like I should not have lost that, so it was just my misplace that made it that way. Because if it hadn't been for Drachma, I feel like I probably might have survived. Because I wasn't being pushed very hard by the opponent. So I definitely should have, yeah. If I had been able to deal that damage without my hand overflowing, then that would have made a huge difference. Yeah, that was sad. I feel like, because I'm using like a net deck, and the net deck had like all draw triggers, and I was just thinking to myself that that was a bit strange, and I feel like definitely at that point I was kind of screwed over by the draw triggers. So I guess maybe I should change the recipe up. So maybe I should change maybe I should go back to what I was running before I looked at the net deck recipe and go back to running like 4 draws and 4 draws and 5 criticals. Does this activate on the Vanguard? This is a Vanguard ability, so I guess we're keeping that. Another very silly thing that I did when I first played this deck is deck 2 was that I just added the the Stride Father
ライド
without realizing that it was limited to Blade Master. So when it wouldn't activate, I was like, huh, why is it not activating? And then I read the text and I was like, okay. It only lets me look for Blade Master, and I had no Blade Masters in the deck, so.
スタンド&ドローお互い頑張ろうね
行くぞ
そのカード僕も好きです
少しはやるようだな
I am using the Kai cooking sleeve today. Is it like broccoli and potatoes?
スキル発動
Yeah, I definitely got possessed by a Yu-Gi-Oh player. Not reading the cards exactly. But you know, I just see like for G, the Stride Father art for every clan is like tattooed on my brain. So I just see the card and it's like, okay, this is the Stride Father I need. So when I have slots over, I just fill the slots up with the Stride Father because it's such a like every single clan has that exact card. But I didn't realize that the Kagero one was limited to Blade Master, but I mean obviously that makes sense because he was the main grade 3 for the majority of G. And all of them are specific. But yeah, I was definitely possessed by the spirit of a late Yu-Gi-Oh player.
スタンド&ドロー
Doo-doo-doo. Let's try the
ライド
10k grade 2. Let's activate this. One thing that's actually really nice with Conroe is that you can not only search the PG, but in the case like if I brick, then I can still I can search the Stride Father
ヴァンガードにアタックドライブチェゲット
or like the searcher and pick up a grade 2 a grade 3 to my hand.
ダメージチェック
So Conroe is just the goat, I guess. This card is so cute. Look at this little guy. His name is Gyunmi, which is also very cute. This is one of those cards where I think I bought this card for a while. I was playing Altmile very casually and I bought this card just for the art. So I do have this card. Because it's so cute. Yeah, and you can use it on the rear guard. You can retire this unit instead of paying the cost for the stride. Which is... I mean, this was never a card that was used very much, I think. But for a budget Altmile deck, it can be kind of good, I guess. Like on paper, it can be quite a good card. We are seeing some extended waiting and load times from this opponent.
スタンド&ドロ
Harlem.
ーライドスキル発動
I want to get rid of, okay, Barkel. These are some old cards. This is like, is this like Seekers? Let's call Harlem. He gets 5. Okay, that's GV1.
来いヴァンガードにアタック
Yes, it's very, very cute.
ヴァンガードにアタックファーストチェックセカンドチェック
He's just like a little guy.
ダメージチェック
Can't look at him now. Hang on. Here he is. Or is this gonna be like
スタンド
MLB?
ドロ
This card is like from the original Royal Paladin trial deck, if I remember. So this card is very, very old. Literally one of the oldest cards in the game because it came out like the Royal Paladin and the Kagero trial decks were literally like the very first Vanguard products that were ever like released. Now we are on Gasolot. Oh my god, how long ago was that? 2011. In spring. I think it was like in May or in April or something.
頼んだよ
Because the anime was like a spring season in 2011 and the cards came out like a few weeks or months later. It's how I remember it. I might be wrong. So yeah, it was 12 years ago.
アタック
No, wait. No, yeah, 12 years ago.
ダメージチェックゲットドロートリガー
Yeah, we are definitely seeing some lag. Oh.
ヴァンガードにアタック ファーストチェックゲットクリティカルトリガー
I love it when they check the trigger and it's just like silence for 5 or 6 seconds before anything happens.
チェックドライブチェックスタンド
Oh,
トリガ
stun
ー
trigger. Two damage.
ダメージチェック
One. Getting a really good look at the card art. Please just end your turn. Thank you.
スキル発動
Come on. Oh, thank you.
スタンドアンドドロー
Finally.
スキル発動
This retire bypasses the resist, which is very useful. Kind of broken. But I'm not going to complain.
ストライドザジェネレーション
Let's try this guy.
スキル発動
And I get to retire again. Oh, we want you. And then we can retire
発
again.
動 手札が溢れたな
It happened again. Let's call Harlem. You.
スキル発
And
動
let's activate it this time. Even if I don't get to draw. Does he get power? No?
出番だ
Let's just attack as much as possible.
ヴァンガードにアタック
ダメージチェック
PG and damage
ヴァン
shown.
ガードにアタックファーストチェック セカンドチェックサードチェック
Healing, okay. This isn't gonna hit.
アタック
I saved him because he gets extra power when the Vanguard attacks. But in this case, it probably would have been better to just attack rear guard, Vanguard. But like, how am I supposed to know? That I wasn't gonna get a trigger.
スタンドアンドドロ
My counter charger is chillin'. Yeah, the main reason I mentioned this before, but the main reason I wanted to play Overlord again is because
ーお願い
I played Overlord for like the first year of Vanguard Zero. I played Overlord and I played Tsukiyomi, and it was my first time ever playing Kagero in any format at any point. With the exception of like playing like a V-Series trial deck.
スペリオルコール
Or building like the worst Overlord decks ever in the 3DS games. Oh, they didn't stride. Okay.
リアガードにアタック
But they called 2 grade 2s, so they could have just... Why are they playing Blade Seeker? I guess that might be the only thing they have.
ヴァンガードにアタック
Because Blade Seeker only works if you have a Seeker Vanguard.
ファーストチェックヘッ
But I guess...
ドクリティカルトリガー
Is there a Seeker Stride? I don't think so.
セカンドチェックヘッドヒールトリガー
Healing again?
なんだと
And damage should activate here and I should be able to draw a card? Where is it? Oh yeah, it's only the second PG and onward. My very first game when I used Damjid, I had
スタンドアンドド
2 in my hand and then I had like a heal trigger and I was about to lose and I was like, I'm losing. I don't want to lose. And as that was
ジェネレーション
happening, I thought to myself, oh, but Damjid lets me draw. The chances are very, very low, but I could draw into another PG.
発動
And just as I had thought, that exact thing happened. So yeah, I definitely got very, very lucky. And that was my first game using that card. This does not cost a counter blast, so I'm just gonna use it. Hello!
ダメージチェック
You are welcome. Finally drew my counter charger.
自由発動
Okay, no wait. That's the wrong effect.
自由発動
Yeah, and the... Hang on. The YouTube chat widget is not working for some reason. So I'm very sorry about the malfunction. God, I really wish I had, like... Was this not... Right, okay. I remember now.
コール
I thought this was on place, but it's not.
リアガードにアタックヴァンガードにアタック
Okay, now I'm gonna get to drive check 5 again, so let's see. Let's hope I actually get a trigger this time.
ファーストチェックゲット
Okay, that's one
ド
trigger.
ロートリガーセカンドチェックサードチェックゲットドロート
I need to draw into like another PG.
ドライブチェックゲットドロートリガー
Okay, thank you.
ドライブチェック
完全ガード
Yeah, and now again I drew the PG because of mind powers. I willed it into existence, and that's what Kai always says. That like that's what makes you a good player is is drawing triggers and drawing the cards that you need. You know what made me feel very stupid? Because I think this was when me and Iris were watching Vanguard G. And at that point, I had watched the entirety of Vanguard G probably like 3 times for different reasons. Maybe not like every single episode, but like I had roughly watched it like at least twice. And there's this very questionable or silly scene in, I think it's in Gears Christ. No, it should be in the first season, like in the latter half of the first season. There's like this scene, right, where Shoma is like following Ibuki, and when they both pass under like a bridge, they kind of start like physically like fighting each other. Like it turns into like this kind of like brawl moment, which in and of itself is very very funny because of how out of place it is and how unexpected the whole scenario is. But Ibuki says like this very cringy line where he's like, God, I don't remember, but it's something like, oh, I'm not threatened, or I'm not interested in fighters who don't intend to draw triggers, or it's something like that. And it's just like, okay, like, okay, not PNG, like whatever you say. It's it's just kind of absurd. And then he leaves because he punched Shoma like straight in like the solar plexus, and he's like down on the ground. And then as he walks away, Shoma is like, oh, okay, but you he's like, don't underestimate me because I always draw triggers. And I always thought that line was like even more stupid than the whole like scenario. Like that was like the killer, like the final killer line. But then when we rewatched it again, and this made me feel so stupid, I finally understood what he actually meant by that line, because he plays Genesis, so he can stack the deck. So that's why he knows that he can guarantee to draw triggers, and that's why he says the line that, oh well, don't like underestimate me because I always draw the triggers. Because he literally does always get the triggers because he can stack the deck. And I felt very stupid for not understanding that sooner. Because that line in that context makes it kind of cool. It's just that the build up for the line is just so uncool that it's not worth it at all. Like on one hand, I think the writing in Vanguard G is so good, and it's so like poignant and charming and just good, and then they drop those kind of bombshells on you that just kill you instantly. Oh, it's very funny. Oh. Okay, so we really want to go novel here, I think. Yeah, but the thing is that I don't blame you for not understanding either, because one, I did not understand myself, but secondly, it's like the whole scene is just so much that at that point you're kind of mentally like checked out, right? I mean, I was, definitely.
スキル発動
Yeah, it's something like that. Like,
来い
yeah, the scene, he does talk about Chrono too. Like, that's
行け
also kind of what makes it, like, even better slash even worse, essentially. I don't remember.
アタック
Yeah.
アタック
完全ガード
Yeah, exactly. Like, Ibiki is not actually talking about the cards. Obviously, he's being, like, he's using card games as a metaphor, and then Shoma kinda gives, you know, that clap back, like, oh, but I always draw the triggers. Yeah. I feel like on paper it was definitely cooler than it was, like, in execution. Yeah, it could be cool, exactly. It's just, I think the fact that they're physically fighting, like, Ibiki did like a karate punch and a karate throw, and it's just like that is just, like, that being like the framing of it just makes it so absurd. If it was just kind of like a casual, more like a kind of subtle, like, how would you say, like, foreshadowy kind of conversation, like, by the way, like a throwaway scene, then that could have been a lot cooler, because you could have rewatched it and been like, ooh, they did a thing here. And it's meant to be like foreshadowing. Especially since Shoma has his, like, fortune-telling powers. In that way, it definitely would have worked better. But in the execution of the scene, the whole bizarreness of everything just kind of overshadows the, like, some of the kind of cool symbolism that was used. Someone clearly put a lot of thought into the cringiest moment in the whole series. Yes. Definitely. That scene is also, it is just magically, like, it's like if you weren't sure about whether or not you're watching like a card game, like a card game anime, then those are like the prime examples.
ファイトの時間だビビって立ち止まるなよ
You know, we bully Ibiki a lot for being like all that he is, but I feel like we don't bully him enough for being like fake deep, you know?
スタンドアップ
And we should also bully Chrono a little bit for, you know, being kind of into it. He's like, oh, he's so cool. Like, no. But I guess, I guess that's just, you know, being 14. You can't help it. And Ibiki is like perpetually 14, I guess.
スタンドアンドドローライドスキル発動ヴァンガードにアタックドライブチェックヘッドスタンドトリガーダメージチェック
Yeah, exactly. He's only 14. He's allowed. He was actually, that's in the second season though, so he's like, no, isn't that in Stargate? So he's 15. Is it still okay when you're 15? What should I ride? I guess you.
ライド
Chrono has an excuse at least, yeah, I guess so.
スキル発動
「
Is there any point in calling at this time? Hang on. I feel like I'm thinking way too much because this deck is not like it's not like a difficult deck or anything. It's pretty like, you know, you just call and you retire and you attack. Ah.
ダメージチェックスタンド&ドローライドスキル発動
This deck really is just about you discard your
スキル発動
overlords for effects and then you put them in the drop zone and then you recycle them back to your hand
コール
and then you do the same thing again.
ヴァンガードにアタックダメージチェックヴァンガードにアタックファーストチェックセカンドチェックダメージチェッククリティカルトリガースタンド&ドローライド
Another thing that, since we're talking about Shoma indirectly or we were a minute ago, I actually, one thing that I do really like about Vanguard G is that his like fortune telling powers are never fully explained. I don't know, I kind of like that sometimes in anime or just like in those kind of like, because Vanguard isn't like, how would you call it? It's like a low fantasy setting, I guess. Or it's like a, how would you say? What do you call it? There is like a specific kind of genre name for that, right? When it's like contemporary with like supernatural elements. Like that has probably like a name for that genre. I just can't remember it right now. But that's more or less what Vanguard is, like the anime. And in those kinds of settings, I actually quite like it when sometimes there are things that aren't fully explained. I think it gives, like it kind of adds to it, like you are kind of forced to kind of use your imagination a bit. But also the fact that it's not fully like explained whether or not his powers are even real or if it's just kind of, because in the beginning it's like, oh, he says, oh, I have, like I can predict the future and do this and that, and you just think he's kind of messing with you or messing with the other characters because that's, yeah, he does. He absolutely does have those powers. But it's not like, it's kind of subtle, so I don't blame you for forgetting it. But when it's first brought up, you assume that he's just kind of messing with you, or that he's making kind of like, that he's talking about Vanguard specifically, like that he kind of that he means that he has kind of that ability when it comes to the game or something like that. But then as the show kind of goes on, the narrative seems to kind of like buy into the idea that power that he has is like 100% true, or that it's very much a real thing, and it ends up being like quite a major part of his like of his character, like his character motivation. And I do like that it's not like fully explained exactly how real it is or how it works exactly. I don't know, I think it's interesting, especially when, yeah, because it's kind of similar to like Psycholia, I guess. Because while Psycholia is definitely like a real thing, to understand it, you kind of just have to like, hang on. What do I call it? This? Okay, this... Oops.
行け
Can retire... Okay, no?
そろそろ時間だな
Okay, I just need to... not think too hard. No? No, I want the great one, come on.
出番だスキル発動
Hmm.
ヴァンガードにアタックダメージチェックヴァンガードにアタックファーストチェックゲット
Okay,
ヒー
healing.
ルトリガ
Very good. I need
ー
like
ドチェック
free triggers to
サードチェックゲット
attack this...
ドロートリガー
or to get this attack to hit. So,
ダメージチェック
goodbye.
スタンドアンドドローライド
But yeah, another thing, like with the V series, also Psycholia is like super different. Like Psycholia in the manga and in the original anime are like two like totally different things. Or it's not totally different, but it's kind of different.
エリオルコール
And I definitely prefer like the anime version. Because in the manga and in the V series reboot, it's just like anyone who is under a certain amount of stress can like develop Psycholia. Which is kind of boring because you just end up having all these characters who have it. And it's not as interesting.
スキル発動コール来い
Why is my voice so tired today?
ジェネレーションブレイクスキル発動アタックジェネレーションブレイクスペリオルコールヴァンガードにアタックファーストチェックセカンドチェッククリティカルトリガーサードチェック完全ガード
Watch me develop Psycholia during my uni exams. Yeah, the units will like feed you the answers. Oh god. That was silly, okay.
ネクタイが邪魔だな
Or was it 17 plus 17? Or was it 27? I forget. But my heal trigger did only just not activate. Yeah, so in the V series, it's like, oh, Kai gets Psycholia too, but he just he just makes the choice not to use it, and I'm like, but that's not interesting. Because the whole thing about, like in the original anime, is that Psycholia is like this thing that you're kind of born with, and it's latent, and then so and so might happen that causes you to awaken it, and then when it does awaken, it's very like you have to really like fight very hard to kind of resist it, and it's this whole like very like traumatic thing. And so in yeah, and it just kind of undermines the narrative that Psycholia is meant to be special, or that it's meant to be like a difficult kind of struggle to resist it or not rely on it or whatever. And that whole thing is just kind of undermined when Kai just casually develops it and then casually says, no, I'm not gonna use it. Yeah, the whole point is that it corrupts you, and Kai was literally like, just say no. Just say no. You don't have to develop Psycholia, you can just say no. Yeah, it's I definitely prefer the original anime version a lot more. It just makes, like, naturally, it just makes so much more sense.
スタンド&ドロー
There's also these like other little things that I just vastly prefer about.
発動
Yeah, just refuse. Just say no. It's not hard. Jesus Christ. And I also feel like the anime writers in that point, at that, like, with that in mind, I feel like they understand a lot more what makes like the intrigue more interesting, because then in the original anime, in the Link Joker arc, as soon as he was tempted and about to be like corrupted by a greater power, he totally gave in, and he was totally like but he definitely became corrupted, you know. Like, that was the whole thing about his character arc, that he spent a whole season being very upset because he felt that, you know, he felt upset and he felt frustrated with the concept of psycholia and seeing people that he cared about become corrupted by it, because it went against his, you know, ideals or whatever. But then when he himself was given the ability to, or he was given, you know, when he was himself in that situation, like in a similar situation, he could not cope with it at all. And that's a lot more interesting.
スタンド&ドロー
Wait, I'm not on the right Overlord. I only have the great, which is not very great.
煉獄の灼熱に焼かれ幾度も蘇る帝国の竜王よ炎の中で奮い立て俺の分身ライド・ザ・ヴァンガード煉獄降竜ドラゴニック・オーバーロードザ・グレート
Okay, I won't really be able to retire that one in the front row. I'm just going to deal a damage.
ストライド・ザ・ジェネレーション
Yeah, it's just a so much more interesting like take on his character in general,
スキル発動
in my opinion. Wait, is that a Persona Blast? Can I choose not to activate it? Sorry, can I choose to flip? Yeah, I can flip whatever I want, but whatever, it's too late now.
ダメージチェック
Another thing that, like a little thing that I think made a huge difference in the
attack
yeah, exactly. On top of all the already there drama of him thinking that, you know,
First check
he's like, oh, Aichi has other friends and hasn't paid attention to me for 5 minutes, and that means he doesn't like me anymore. It really is like the, you know, the typical high school drama
スタンド&ドロ
in that way. In a charming kind of way. But yeah, what I was gonna say is that another little, just very small little detail that they changed in the original anime versus the manga and the reboot is that in the canon lore of the original anime, the blaster blade that Kai gave to Aichi
ー 発動
originally belonged to Ibuki, and Ibuki gave that deck or that card to Kai, and then Kai passed it on to Aichi,
スキル発動
which is just so much more like poignant in the drama of Neon Messiah, I think.
ファーストチェック
It's just like this tiny little detail, and it's kind of just
サードチェックゲット
mentioned in passing. But that's the kind of of detail where if I was Ito Akira, I would just be like, you know, never mind, this is just canon now, you know?
ダメージチェック
ヴァンガードにアタック
So I would completely just retcon my own work and you know add it into the V series anime adaptation.
手札はこれ以上持てないな。
スタンド&ドロー
So honestly, that was also the kind of thing where can I just do Legion? Let's do Legion. Why not? Oh, ho, ho. I'm gonna Legion.
シーク・ザ・メイトすべてを焼き尽くす煉獄の炎の中で新たに生まれ立つ炎の化身よ並び立てレギオン
Then we can activate this. Hang on, this... Okay, so when I attack the rear guard, I can counterblast 1, discard 2 cards, and this... they stand, and I can draw 2. And then when it hits... Okay. I can do a bunch of stuff. But I still need to call... God, I don't have... I still need to call this. And I guess I'm gonna call this too. Nope. Oh wait, I need to discard 2. God, I'm gonna have to discard... Wait, it's after it hits? I shouldn't have called the grey one. That was very stupid.
Vanguard にアタック発動ファーストチェックセカンドチェック
完全ガード。
Okay, now line up please, like the units are school children on a field trip. Yeah. But I also think it's definitely an example of where like the literal translation from Japanese to English, it works. Like it's not incorrect, but it definitely just has a different like connotation. Like telling people, like, yeah, so when they say narabitate, it's, to me it really has a different vibe from saying like line up. Am I gonna die? I feel like there's a chance. I mean, I do get to draw. I just need to draw PG again. Oh, I drew a hit trigger. So I guess technically, but yeah, now I'm dead now. I kind of bricked. I'm not actually sure why this deck runs Legion, but I guess it's good for late game. Or I mean, it can potentially be. And you do get to restand quite cheaply. And like cycle through your deck. It is now 6:30 a.m. I found it so strange today because I could not match with a single person. Even though it was 2 a.m. on a Saturday and I feel like I should be able to match with people, I just Cannot match with anyone. I guess we can change the skin. We can use this one instead. This is the one with the goldfish line, which is kind of funny. Oh, here we go. Is this gonna be like a turbo Lisa deck again? I'm keeping this hand.
Stand up, the Vanguard.
Yes, it is.
Stand and draw.
So that means I just have to play like...
Ride.
I just have to be super aggressive. Yeah, it's very cute. It's very, very, very cute. Yeah, I don't know why they made him say that. It doesn't feel like very in character, but it's fine. It is, it's very fine.
Vanguardにアタック。
ダメージチェック。ドロートリガー。
バンガードにアタック。ドライブチェック。
ダメージチェック。
Yeah, there are none because Kai already scooped all of them.
手札が多い。
たまにはこういう格好も悪くない。
This is extra funny because this is supposed to be like season 1 Kai. This is like chronologically, this is the earliest seasonal event they gave us. Even though it came out a year too late. Yeah, sorry, I misread the line, yeah. He says, there are no goldfish I can scoop. Yes. In case Iris didn't understand, that is the line that he... the, like, line that you have that you can use to greet your opponent. He announces his goldfish scooping prowess to the world. I guess I'm just gonna call all of these. I need a trigger? Yes, good. Very good. Yeah, I think that's a accurate reaction. Yeah, he definitely does. YKS. Yeah. Was it like... Because there is like one YKS, because YKS
行け
is it stands for it's Yappari Kaikun Sugoi,
おいで
which is it was like the earliest Vanguard meme that we ever had, like in the community, and I still think it was one of the like most widespread memes that we had. It kind of died out after like a few years, but
ジェネレーションブレイク
it became a meme because Aichi would not stop saying it. He would not like Kai would do anything and he would be like, wow, and Aichi would be like, oh wow, he's so
ス
cool.
キル発動
So it became like a joke where Kai would do mundane things and people would be like, ah, yappari Kai-kun sugoi. And it's kind of funny because I think it was one of the last updates that we had. If it was like the Legion Mate update
ヒールトリガー
for some of like the character interactions, there was a reference to that,
リアガードにアタック
like Aichi finally said the line. And the fact that they did it so late into the game's life really makes me feel like it was like a conscious choice that they had been that they had been like holding back, and then with the with one of the final updates we got that reference, which is it's quite endearing to me. Okay, I have one counter blast. I definitely do. I want to deal damage or? Oh wait, no. I definitely picked the wrong card there, because this. Okay, this has resist. Ah. Let's deal damage instead.
ストライド・ザ・ジェネレーション スキル発動
Does this cost a counter blast? No. So I can get rid of this. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I have to add it. Okay. Very sad
スキル発動
about having to do that.
ダメージチェック
And now she's base 18, which is
出
annoying.
番出番スキル発動
Going to activate
スキ
this.
ル発動いけ出番だアタックヴァンガードにアタックスキル発動ファーストチェックセカンドチェックゲットドロートリガー
Does that make a difference? I guess so.
完全ガード
アタック
完全ガード
たまにはこういう格好も悪くない
スタンドアンドドロー
次は
ストライドジェネレーション
Okay. Attempts were made.
スキル発動スペリオルコールリアガードにアタック
Do I even have anything that I can stride?
セカンドチェットヒールトリガー
Why would you heal? God.
リアガードにアタックヴァンガードにアタック
ダメージチェゲットドロートリガースタンドアンドドロースキル発動
What? Oh, because they're not. Oh, wow. So there's no point. So because of the wording of because the Seraph Dragons, they don't count as units. So you can't attack them, you can't retire them, you can't do anything with them because they're not units. But because of the phrasing of the Destiny, I can technically choose them because I don't choose the card, I choose the circle. Yeah, so that interaction is very interesting because normally in Vanguard, like 99% of the time, the wording is that you choose a unit and then the skill resolves. But the Destiny has a different phrasing where you don't choose the unit, you choose the circle. And then the text goes on to say, and then the card that is on that circle gets put into the drop zone. So technically, the unit never gets retired. It's just it does not get retired. It gets put into the drop zone, and it's not treated as a unit. It is treated as a card. Therefore, this is one of the few cards that can interact with the Seraph Dragons because the Seraph Dragons are not units. So you can't retire them, you can't attack them, you can't do anything. But yeah, I still couldn't retire it. I mean, I still couldn't put the card into the drop zone for some reason. Probably because there's like a specific ruling that the Seraph Dragons cannot leave the field once they've been put on the field. They can't they can't be removed from the field probably. So even though I could choose them because of the phrasing of the card effect, I could not put them in the drop zone. And the reason that the Destiny has that specific wording is because you can use it to bypass lock, and you can also use it to bypass resist. And because resist says that if a unit has resist, that card cannot be targeted by the opponent's card effects. But because you're not interacting with the card or the unit, you're interacting with the circle, it bypasses resist, and it also bypasses lock, because locked cards, similar to the Seraph Dragons, they are not units. They are simply locked cards. So that is kind of an interesting trivia about how the wording and phrasing in Vanguard works, I guess. Oh, wait, no. Oh, that works without GB, okay. That's very useful. Technically, Blue Asha has a similar phrasing, but I don't think Blue Asha, she only interacts with her own units. So she could not target the Seraph Dragons either. So I guess the Destiny might be the only card in Vanguard that can actually target the Seraph Dragons, even if it still can't do anything. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. She says cards, which is because the destiny also says, he says circle and then he says card. So you choose a circle, which bypasses the the resist ability, and then he says card. So you choose a circle and then you take the circle on that card and you put it in the drop zone, is what he says.
トライド・ザ・ジェネレーション スキル発動
Can get rid of this. Oh, I missed.
スキル発動
Let's flip this and deal 1 damage.
ダメージチェック
And I do want to activate this. And
コ
call.
ール来いスキル発動
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Do I want to call more? I don't think so. This is 27 and this is 26, so it doesn't really matter.
ヒールガード
ヴァンガードにアタック発動ファーストチェックセカンドチェックサードチェックゲットドロートリガー
Oh, wow.
ダメージチェック
俺も浮かれているのか
I feel like is rushing probably what I should be doing with this deck. Because I feel like I can stride Novell on the second stride already. And she lets you do a guard restrict, and she also nullifies heal triggers, which is very good. I hate that card so much. So I get kind of a rush out of using it myself instead of being on the, you know, on the opposite end for once. Oh, this is definitely an example of him containing multitudes. Because Goldfish Kai is gonna fight his shadow self right about now. Okay, just brick. It's fine.
Stand and draw. Ride. Stand and draw.
Have I definitely bricked for sure? I think so.
Ride. Vanguard にアタックドライブチェックダメージチェックスタンド&ドロー俺に救えない金魚などいないヴァンガードにアタックダメージチェックスタンド&ドローライドスキル発動
Oh, right. But I can use this. It's fine. Wait, no, he need... Oh, yeah, okay, but I add him to the hand. And then I call him. And I discard you. And now I can add an Overlord to my hand. And he still has only 5k. Because it activates when he plays.
来いヴァンガードにアタックドライブチェックゲット
Oh,
ドロー
never mind. So this guy
クリティカルトリガー
requires you to have a Overlord in your hand or on your field.
ライド
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be in your hand or it has to be your Vanguard. So because I did not have a Overlord in my hand,
発動
he got minus 5k.
ロック来い
I am locked.
ヴァンガードにアタック
But the thing is, the skill I was talking about before, it also, like it's either player,
アタック
and it also specifies, because it says circle, it's like either player, other than the Vanguard circle. So it specifies that you can pick a circle on either side of the field, other than the Vanguard circle, and you can put that card into the drop zone. Which now means that I can open up my own front row.
ストライド・ザ・ジェネレーションスキル発動
I definitely want the OG Overlord to my hand in this scenario.
スキル発動
Let's flip this. Well, never mind, he goes in this soul, right? Hmm.
出番だヴァンガードにアタックファーストチェックセカンドチェックサードチェックゲット
Okay, very good.
ドロートリガーダメージチェック
Very good.
アタックダメージチェックスタンド&ドロー
I would really like to draw into one more countercharger at this time, to be honest.
ストライド・ジェネレーションスキル発動スキル発動ロックスキル発動ロック溢れたかいけスキル発動
But I mean, it is 2 to
ペ
5.
リオルコール
I wonder,
スキル発動ソウルチャージ
we've seen 4 triggers.
来い
Only 4 triggers.
スキル発動
So even if I go, because Novell has God Restrict that forces the opponent to discard a grid free if they want to activate a
ソウルチャージ
PG.
いけアタックダメージチェック
But I feel like there's a decent chance
ファーストゲット
that isn't going to work.
ドロートリガーサードチェックダメージチェック
I feel like we don't have that many like classic restanders in this deck, like Siegenberg
スタン
restands.
ド&ドロースキル発動
Okay, I need to pay attention. Okay, this is very annoying.
スキル発動
There we go. So I could go Siegenberg and attack twice. That's a GV free. Oh, and I need to have Blaze, which I won't be able to. I won't be able to meet those conditions. Again, it's good to read the cards. I still feel like, you know, even if I can't win this turn, forcing my opponent to discard is always pretty good. This is a Soul Blast. But sadly it does not get power. Wait, does this get power when it... Anata no motomoto no card ne. But why is that not active? Oh wait, I don't have Overlord right now. Because it said Motomoto, like it has to be like the original name. Because it said that it gets 2k for every card in my opponent's damage zone. But I needed to have a stride with the Overlord name. And obviously the strides get the name of the heart, but it needed to be yeah, it needed to be in its own name, so it was specified. Still I have 4 damage and I have 3 PG, so I feel relatively okay. I have no soul though. I guess I could ride this and yeah. I will need to draw into something to use as a... Okay. I just went to the damage zone. Healing? Really?
そばの作り方がなっていない。完全ガード。さて、次はスタンド&ドロー。スキル発動。スキル発動。
All of these cost counter blasts. Well, I just have to stride something.
Attack! Vanguardにアタック。
What do I even have in terms of triggers? I mean, come on. Yes, good. I feel like not being able to countercharge is definitely the most devastating thing in this matchup so far. Because other than that, I feel like I haven't been too held back by my opponent locking stuff or taking stuff out of my hand. But not... Okay, Stark. Okay, this could be bad.
スキル発動コール
Huh.
来い来い
They only have 3 cards left in their deck.
リアガードにアタック
But since Dark Drive shakes 1 card at a time, they should be okay.
チェックヴァンガードにアタック完全ガードヴァンガードにアタック
Oh, Dungeon did not activate.
チェック
Yeah.
なかなか手強い相手だった
If I had just been smarter with holding on to my counter chargers, I feel like that could have gone very differently. So I will definitely try to remember that much. That was like a one-sided interaction. Kai's just like kind of talking to himself and ignoring Tetsu completely, and Tetsu's like, oh hi, it's been a while. That was very like unintentionally funny.
Stand up, the Vanguard. Stand and draw. Ride. Stand and draw. 俺に救えない金魚などいない。
Yeah. It kind of felt like they passed each other in the street and only one of them said hi. You know, that kind of interaction.
Damage check. Vanguardにアタック。ドライブチェック。ダメージチェック。スタンド&ドロー。
This activates... Okay. Why? Oh. Because I have like a vague memory of this activating on the Vanguard, but I guess I am wrong. That's a different anime. A different card game anime.
Attack! Damage check. Vanguard にアタック。ドライブチェックゲット。
Draw trigger?
トリガー。ダメージチェック。スタンド&ドロー。ライド。いけ。スキル発動。オールチャージ。
It's been a while since I matched with a Dark Irregulars player, actually.
ードにアタック。ヴァンガードにアタック。ドライブチェックゲット。ドロートリガー。
ダメージチェック。スタンドドロー。ライド。スキル発動。スキル発動。
Hang on. Do I have anything that uses... Let's just call you. Activate this. Or maybe that was stupid. Yeah, that was definitely stupid. I need a trader now. For some reason I didn't realize that I didn't have another booster. I had a really hard time finding an image of Kai today for the stream. I feel like for most of the other characters, when I've had to find an image, I kind of just had like in my mind, like I would instantly know like, oh, I could use this image or that image or whatever. But for Kai, I just think it's very hard. Like I cannot think of anything. And then I found this old like eye catch image. I mean, I guess technically I could use like the images from the game, but it's a bit boring, and also they're not like super high res. And then there's like the second anniversary images and stuff, but I'm not a huge fan specifically of those. So yeah, I was just kind of thinking about what to do, and I ended up looking at like old DVD covers and stuff, and there were some fun ones but nothing that really fit as something to use for the stream, as a stream like resource. What am I gonna do? I guess we are going Blade Master to just retire as much as possible. But yeah, I feel like Kai is like probably the character where I just feel like it's very hard to find good official art of him, because most of the illustrations they've ever done of him is just him standing there. Like he's not doing like a pose or like he's not doing anything interesting. Wait, no, I have to do Blade Master, correct. Yet again, my hand has overflowed. Harlem, you still have no boosters. There's probably like some magazine illustrations from like way back in the day, but I had no idea how to find them with like such short notice. There might be like a gallery on the wiki or something, but I just feel like the wiki is kind of horrible for that sort of thing, because unless I know exactly what the page is called, it's just impossible to find. Yeah, this was the one funny one that I found where I was like, yeah, I can maybe use this. Hang on. It can be over the chat viewer because the chat viewer is not working today. Where's BlueStacks? Here. But now Leon is kind of covered. I guess this is fine. We can tweak things a tiny bit. But it still bothers me with like the... Oh, sorry. I guess it kind of bothers me with like the DVD logo in the corner. Like that stuff really bothers me. But I can always overlay like the logo so it looks not terrible. Why? There. This is like he's this is like wet cat mode. Kai. This episode is so iconic when he gets pushed into the water. Hang on, that's not the one. Okay, I don't have a stride father. That's annoying. Goodbye. This is the great. I guess you can take the great to the hand. Put him in the soul. This is the photo Kai tried to scrub from the internet. Yeah, definitely. This is the image that every few years it resurfaces, you know, on Twitter. Oh, okay. Oh, they decked out. I wasn't paying attention to them decking out. But yeah, most of the DVD covers is just Kai kind of standing in the background with his back facing, like, facing the camera. And it's not very interesting to make like a stream layout with, because, you know. Oh. This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna pay close attention to what the opponent is running. You know what you. Okay. It should be fine.
Stand up, the
Yeah.
Vanguard.
Top tier bands. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a good night's sleep.
Ride.
Yeah, it is late. It is almost 12:30.
Stand and draw.
So it is definitely a sleepy time for many people. Good night. Oh, I didn't draw. God, okay, I didn't draw the card I needed. Never mind.
Attack. Damage check. Vanguard にアタック。ドライブチェック。ダメージチェックゲット。クリティカルトリガー。
This person is running criticals.
スタンド&ドロー。ライド。
Which is what I feel like I should be doing, maybe?
スキル発動。
This deck is quite easy, I think. I mean, I'm still making misplays on and off, but now that I've kind of learned it, it's pretty straightforward.
リアガードにアタック。ヴァンガードにアタック。ドライブチェゲット。ヒールトリガー。
Okay, so you need to have a Overlord in the hand. Having it on the field isn't enough, or on the Vanguard. I've had such a hard time sleeping lately. Probably because it's still quite bright. Or still, it is now brighter than ever. So I feel like I might as well stream, since I feel like I'm probably going to be awake. Oh! Very nice. And this person is also running... What's his name in like Romaji? It's like very... Is it very Very coasty. It's like belly coasty or something. I always forget. I love that everyone is also playing as Kai today. Kai Saturday. Yeah. I feel like the amount of people who play Overlord has increased lately. Which is one reason why I wanted to try the deck. But yeah, Belly Coasty is also a card that was used for ages and ages and ages in this deck. And it's good. It's basically just on hit, you get a counter charge one, which is like, it's not spectacular or anything like in this meta. It's not spectacular, but it's definitely very good. Or it was very good in the past. Because you could just like counterblast 2 to retire 1, and then you could instantly just get one of those counterblasts back, which is just very useful. Okay. Can I... Oh yeah, I can activate this. And this guy gets... Yeah, this is the guy that gets power, and this is the guy that gets to draw. Putting 2 draw triggers back to draw 1 is just... It's so mind-blowingly good. Heal guarding?
Vanguard にアタック。ファーストチェック。
And I should get 5 dry checks
セ
now.
カンドチェック。サードチェック。完全ガード。
Wait, no, that one is GB pre, right? So no 5 dry checks for me on first try. That makes sense.
スキル発動。
I was thinking maybe when I can't play this game anymore, I could still maybe do like an occasional stream where I could play Dear Days, which is the Vanguard game that is, it's for the Switch and for it's also on Steam, but it's so I mean, the game itself is quite expensive, and then if you want the DLC, the DLC is also very expensive. And I don't want to like complain too much about the price,
スキル発動。
because as I mentioned before, it's like people were pressuring Bushiroad and Furyu like super hard to release the game overseas.
頼んだ。
And then when they did and it was expensive, people were mad about it.
ファーストチェック。
Which to me is a bit,
セカンドチェック。サード
video games are expensive in general. So even if I think that the game was maybe a bit too expensive, I don't know.
スタンド&ドロー。スキル発動。
But even now when I'm like, oh, maybe I should stream Dear Days after I can't stream Vanguard Zero anymore. But even then in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's kind of expensive. I don't know if I want to drop like that amount of money into it, you know? What should I stride? I guess I could go Siegenberg. I have barely used him so far. Okay, let's just decide on something. Okay, so if I stride an Overlord, I can use that skill. So let's do that instead.
ストライド・ザ・ジェネレーション。 スキル発動。
Wait. Okay, that's fine. God damn it.
頼んだ。
That was so stupid. I should not have activated
スキル発動。
that. Okay, let's put a draw trigger back. Call this.
ヴァンガードにアタック。
Maybe I should have strided Nobel.
完全ガード。
Might have been a better choice. I mean, probably that definitely was the better choice, but
ヴァンガードにアタック。ファーストチェック。
ah,
セカンドチェック。サードチェック。ドライブチェック。ドライブチェックゲット。
okay.
ドロートリガー。
I got a draw trigger and I drew a draw trigger.
スタンド&ドロー。
I have a PG, 2 heals. No PG in the drop zone.
スキル発動。
Oh,
ストライド・ザ・ジェネレーション。
they're also playing the old PG that has the counter charge. And they're playing the counter charge 2 grade 1.
スキル発動。
So they just have counter charging for days. I guess it's possible they just don't have access to Dumjid because he said triple R.
スキル発動。
I guess that is possible.
ダメージチェック。
Oh wow. That was the heal that I was hoping I would hit, but I mean I wouldn't have healed anyway, but
頼んだ。コール。
I should be okay.
ヴァンガードにアタック。スキル発動。ファーストチェック、セカンドチェック、サードチェック、ドライブチェックゲット、ヒールトリック、ドライブチェック、スタンドアンドドロー、スキル発動。
That hit trigger was definitely just so unnecessary. Wait, this is... Oh, my opponent has no cards in their hand. God, I wasn't even paying attention. Well, let's nullify whatever heal triggers they might have left. If they have any. They have none left.
Vanguard にアタック。ファーストチェック、セカンドチェック、サードチェック。エッジチェック。たまにはこういうのもいいかもな。
That's a bit strange. I guess I'm not entirely sure what they were going for with their deck. Oh, I get to climb. I remember I had so much fun with Kagero as a clan in early Vanguard 0. Negating triggers is so messed up, I think. Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's... You feel so, like, powerless when your opponent can negate your triggers. They were having fun and being themselves. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it wasn't a bad deck. It was just a bit different. They had a lot of countercharging for some reason, but countercharging is kind of important in this deck, so I guess I don't blame them, because during the during the Link Joker game, I essentially lost because I couldn't countercharge. So I can't blame them for being like, you know, putting all the countercharge that they can into the deck. Okay, I'm officially bricked. But yeah, negating triggers definitely makes you feel incredibly powerless. And I think Novell is definitely one of the few cards that can do that. There's definitely something else. God, yeah, Valios can negate the power of the triggers, but he can't. I don't think he can negate the effects. And there are definitely also, like, generally in when it comes to effect damage, I would say it's kind of 50-50 whether or not the trigger effects apply. Like with the Purge, it is, yeah, here it says 相手に1ダメージを与え、そのダメージチェック中、トリガー効果はすべて無効にする。So this says that deal the opponent 1 damage and negate all the trigger effects. But Noelle, I think, is unique in that she not only negates the trigger if you know, she negates all of the trigger effects, and it's not effect damage, it's just regular old damage. Okay, I did draw into the great, but I really want to have the destiny, so I'm going to resolve this. And we are going to discard, I guess we can discard the Harlem. We can call you.
ダメージチェック
Maybe I should have called those backwards, so I could have used this.
ダメージチェックスタンドアンドドロ
But yeah, when I first built this deck, I also picked like 1 or 2 cards where I was like, oh, these were my old favorite cards from when I used to run this deck at the beginning of Vanguard 0. And I kind of quickly realized that you don't really have space for that in this deck. Like, you need your beaters and you need your like retires and stuff. But early on, Kagero had some really amazing tech spots. Like, there was a grade 2 that you could ride, and then when you rode on that grade 2, your Vanguard got an extra critical for that turn, which was very strong at the time. We also had a grade 2 that could attack the back row. And it could only attack the back row of the same column that it was in. So if you rode it as the Vanguard, the skill was still applicable, and then you could attack your opponent's Forerunner. If they had placed it behind their Vanguard, you could attack the opponent's Forerunner, which could be very strong because some decks had very good Forerunners. Like the Royal Paladin deck, for example, relied a lot on the Forerunner, searching Blaster Blade, for example. So you could definitely kind of mess with them and, you know, get rid of a piece early, that in a very kind of cheap and accessible way that other decks just couldn't. And then you had the on-hit counter charge, and you had like counterblast to retire 1, just like the Blaster Blade skill. And you also had Overlord, which is counterblast free, and he can attack every single card in the front row 1 time, which I did in a previous game. And that was also very strong early on. So I feel like historically, like now I think Kagero is a very kind of straightforward deck. I still think it's fun, but I feel like early on in Vanguard 0, Kagero was one of the decks where it felt like you had the most flexibility and you could tech different cards to kind of customize your deck depending on your playstyle and your preferences. So I really enjoyed playing it in the beginning. It was very fun. We also had a bunch of grade 3s that were like low rarity grade 3s that were quite good. Like we had the Amber Ride line, which was actually nerfed a while into the game's life because it was low rarity, and it was very, very strong. And we also had what was the name of, God, I forget now, but we had a grade 3 that was like a rare, I think. That was kind of like a finisher. It was like you could soul blast a bunch, and God, I barely remember what it did, but we had like a finisher that was super cheap, like in the sense that it was very like easy to get in the app. So that definitely gave the deck like a pretty like huge edge over some of the competition. What do we want to do in this scenario? I guess we can deal some effect damage. This is the first Nova Grappler I saw in your streams, I think. Yeah, it might be. It might be actually. First or like second. These guys have guard. Sorry, they cannot be retired. I don't want to activate this. I should have probably no, I definitely should have targeted the back row with the skill that bypasses these. Yeah.
Vanguard にアタック。
ダメージチェック。ドロートリガー。
ヴァンガードにアタック発動。ファーストチェック。セカンドチェック。サードチェック。
完全ガード。
I feel like I've been very unlucky with triggers in this game. Sorry, with this deck, I mean. Today. Have not drawn into any PGs today. Sorry. Have not drawn into any PGs in this game either. Because I had to use Conroe to fix my hand. Where's the guy who's just ahead? He's so funny. He's not here. Oh, here he is. No, no. Okay. This isn't the Forerunner that I was thinking of. Never mind. I only have 2 heal triggers, so this is kind of a sweaty situation. Yeah, this is not good. Yeah, I definitely should have popped the back row. God. I'm gonna lose now. Because I didn't retire the back row. Well, I mean, I guess my opponent might have still called some stuff out, but okay. Just restart, it's okay. It's fine. This is the lowest, right? Hello? Here we go. I mean, I guess I could get 2 heal triggers. Maybe. Unless... No.
なかなか手強い相手だった。
Well, I had just climbed, so I didn't lose a lot of points. God. This was really one of those games where I feel like I want like an instant rematch. Because I feel like if I had just played a bit smarter, I definitely could have won. He's covering Overlord's face. I just noticed. He looks so smug in this art. It's almost out of character how smug he looks. Like, this is Kai's face when he's like... I mean, he does do those kinds of expressions sometimes, but it's usually it's like... it's like in Legion Mate when he's fighting like Gaillard. And he does like the super evil face. It's kind of like that level of like intensity. I guess he's just so, you know, intense about the goldfish. Okay, it is 7:45 a.m. and for some reason we cannot match with anyone. You'd think that as it gets closer to 8 a.m. we would be matching with more people and not the other way around. Since it is a Sunday morning right now in Japan. Oh no, here we go. We've been going for almost 3 hours.
ファイトに服装など関係ない。
さあ宴の始まりね。
Okay, I need to draw a grade 3 or just a grade 1.
スタンド&ドロー。
俺に救えない金魚などいない。スタンド&ドロー。
Okay, I did draw a grade 3, but not the grade 3 that I wanted. You know, it's Gise, so
ライド。
I won't get to use the PG anyway. Furry? Question mark? Yeah. This is like the Halloween skin from 20... Was it from 2021, I think?
スタンド&ド
Or
ロー。
was it in 2020 already? Should have been in 2021.
頼んだわよ。スキル発動。 お願い。
But yeah, it's definitely kind of a furry vibe, I guess.
発動。アタック。
ダメージチェック。
Hmm.
ヴァンガードにアタック。ドライブチェックゲット。ドロートリガー。バインド。
Okay, I'm being damaged tonight.
Light.
Hang on. Yeah.
Skill 発動。
Let's get this guy this time. And let's call this.
出番だ。スキル発動。
And I should be able to activate this. Yeah, let's go.
Vanguard にアタック。ドライブチェック。
ダメージチェックゲット。ドロートリガー。バイン
アタック。
ド。ダメージチェック。
Could I have called another column? I don't think so.
ライト。スキル発動。スキル発動。 お願い。
This is... Was this an emergency ride or is this the Nokia deck?
スキル発動。
I don't think I have ever seen anyone play this, to be
リア
honest.
ガードにアタック。ファーストチェックゲット。ドロートリガー。バインド。
I don't think I've ever seen anyone play the Nokia deck. Okay, damage denial, that's fine. I'm going to take 1 damage. Wait. God.
ライドスキル発動
Getting rid of this.
Stride the generation! Skill 発動
I don't know if, you know, getting rid of the real guards does that much of a difference in this matchup,
スキル発動
but I might as well.
スキル発動
ダメージチェック。
来い行け行けスキル発動
Put 2 of these back and draw 1. Oh, PG.
来いアタック
ダメージチェック。
ヴァンガードにアタック
And we can already start
ヴァン
pushing.
ガードにアタック発動ファーストチェックセカンドチェックサードチェック
I really would have liked to have a bit more power there. So another, you know, a trigger would have been very nice to actually like get the PGs out of the handle.
ストライドジェネレーション スキル発動
Hmm.
発動
ダメージチェック。
スキル発動
ダメージチェック。
ゲットヒールトリガー
Healing, okay. That's not great for me. Even if it does mean that a heal trigger has been removed from the game, which I guess I can't complain too much about.
スキル発動
The fact that I have barely anything to call next turn is a little bit stressful.
アタック
ファーストチェック。
Hmm.
セカンドジェットドロートリガー
I guess I can just try this guy again next turn. If I don't draw into a great free. This is also an Overlord. Oh, but I already flipped the other one. So okay, I did draw a great free. Question is, okay, this is a bit difficult a choice to make. I guess Noel is still the best choice in this scenario.
ストライド・ザ・ジェネレーション
I wonder.
スキル発動
I guess I could add a. I guess I could counterblast one just to add a Overlord to my hand. Just to have something to attack my opponent with.
来いスキル発動
Oh, I definitely should have activated that first. Okay, yeah, that's stupid. God. This is still just 16, but whatever.
出番だ
It would have been way better to keep that in my hand for next turn.
Vanguard にアタック。ファーストチェック。セカンドチェック。サードチェック。
Still no triggers. Huh. Well, we did get a... Is Gisa like... God. Does he require like a cost? Like a persona cost or... I do have locals tomorrow, technically. I haven't been in a hot minute because I feel like every Sunday something comes up and I can't go. Also, these streams have been tiring me out quite a lot, so ironically I've been playing too much, or I don't know if it's ironic, but I guess it's a tiny bit ironic where I started off playing Zero a lot because I couldn't go to locals because of the pandemic. And then when I can go and there are no restrictions anymore, I'm tiring myself out playing Zero instead of going to my locals. Am I gonna be able to win this? Or have they like... They do have 2 heal triggers left. And against Angel Feather that always makes me very, very paranoid. I guess, yeah, they did put a heal trigger back now. Yeah, there we go. Neo Flame. We are definitely striding you. Question is which? I guess this one. Nice. That means I can activate this. Ooh, this is not enough. Do we have another over? Yeah, we do.
番だ。スキル発動。アタック。ヴァンガードにアタック。
Oh, there we go. I thought for sure, knowing my luck, I thought for sure they had drawn into a PG. That was a fun game. And I feel like I was able to play around them pretty well. I don't know why they ran up, why they ran out of hand so quickly. Because shouldn't they have been checking like more draw triggers? I guess they were just unlucky. Okay. It has been almost 3 hours, so I feel like this might be a pretty it's been almost 3 hours and it's just past 1 AM. And I'm starting to get quite tired. Another thing that's also kind of, how would you say, that's a lot more tiring than I ever would have guessed with streaming is that when I stream, because my microphone is so sensitive, I need to close all my windows, and when all my windows are closed, it gets very, very warm in my apartment. So it's definitely, it's wearing me down quite a lot to sit in this heat. I love the smug Kai. He's so proud of himself for besting the goldfishes. Yeah, that's the perfect opponent for him. You know, Kai and the goldfish, they're like intellectual equals. He has finally met his match in the goldfish, you know. There is a line from Aichi, because as you probably remember, the fall festival skins, Kai and Aichi both have one, and Aichi has a line where he's like, so Kai caught all of those goldfish, like what does he do with them? Does he keep them like as pets? And and okay, let's see if our goldfish scooping champion can best the mermaids. Their battle will be legendary. Yeah, but then, yeah, so Aichi has that line where he's like, oh, what's Kai doing with all the goldfish? Is he keeping them? And it instantly just occurred to me that Kai, you know, he has this obsession with Vanguard, he has this obsession with cooking. So, knowing his personality type, but how obsessed he gets with a certain hobby, I feel like Kai would definitely be the kind of guy who is one of those like aquarium bros. I guess calling Kai a bro is a bit wrong. He's not really a bro type, but you know, so you know, in that sense, I guess it's not fully accurate. But there are definitely those kind of like aquarium men or aquarium nerds. I think might be the better name for them. And Kai would definitely be one of those guys, and he would have like, you know, a self-filtering saltwater aquarium where he would like breed his own goldfish and do those like micro, how do you say, like those like little self-sustaining ecosystems. Like that would definitely be a hobby that he would get into and become obsessed with. Can the goldfish slayer beat the jellyfish girl? Yeah, that is the ultimate question.
ヴァンガードにアタックドライブチェック
But this doesn't look like it is.
ドロートリガー
This is
スタンド&ドロー
this might be like a Hololive deck. Because the Hololive cards are essentially they're essentially Cray elementals and can be used in any deck. So that might be what this is. Yeah, it's honestly like the one thing that's kind of more cringy than Bermuda. It's Hololive and this person is playing it. Hang on.
頼んだスキル発動
I hope you get to bully this VTuber simp. Yeah, I hope so too. I 100% hope so. One thing that is actually
ヒールトリガー
a bit funny or kind of creative with the VTuber cards is that around the time that these, because we had like 2 different events with the VTuber cards. So these are old and then these are new.
スキル発動
So the old ones are old, or like they're from like the 2nd year or something of Vanguard Zero.
お願い
So they came out quite a while ago. And then we have the Great Freeze and the Strides that came out more recently. They came out last year. And these have like, because at the time when these came out, they were doing like a rally. And they were trying to get the
アタックファーストチェック
VTubers reach a certain like subscriber goal, and the conditions are based on the number of the number of these subscribers that the VTubers have in real life. So the higher the subscriber count is, the better the effects are, which is actually kind of creative, I think.
ライド
Or creative, you know, it definitely like engages the audience and make them wanna play the game, I guess. Should I deal damage or should I guess I will deal damage.
ストライド・ザ・ジェネレーション スキル発動
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely kind of a neat idea. So even if morally I do not support VTubers, they did a funny thing,
スキル発動
But I will never be able to wrap my mind around the blue girl. What's her name? Suise. She had like a Bushiroad sponsorship, or like she was sponsored by Bushiroad to promote the game,
スキル発動
and she called Aichi a very rude word on her stream. And I find that very bizarre and funny that she would do such a thing. Hang on, what am I gonna do? She's 16 base.
出番だここは来いスキ
Did
ル
it
発動
include the clip where she says the rude word? Do I want to activate this? No.
アタック
ダメージチェック
アタック
ダメージチェック
I think that for a while,
サードチェックゲットドロートリガー
because the grade 2s of Seisei and Sakura Miko, they're actually pretty good. Like they have no skills. This just says that it can be used in every clan. And then they have the 10k base. And the 10k base, when this came out, was actually quite strong. So or if you didn't have, like, if you had like 1 or 2 spots where you were like, oh, I don't know what to put in these spots, then using a grade 2 with a 10k base is actually pretty good. So people did actually use these cards for a while, just simply because they had the 10k base. And most clans have, like pretty much all clans, I think like all clans have a vanilla 10k of their own, but some people just prefer to use the VTuber ones. And some people ran 8 10k base cards, which is very annoying, depending on the matchup. Because it forces your opponent to call a bunch of boosters and stuff, just to get rid of the intercepts. Okay, let's see. Goodbye to the resist unit. And we are going to vibe check the opponent. Do I wanna? Sure, let's add this to my hand. This is the one that gets power, except it doesn't because I don't have the right Vanguard. Oh yeah, I want to draw. I need to remember that that does not just recycle, it also draws. I just keep forgetting. Now we really want to snipe the heal guards, if there are any. Nice. Ooh. That was definitely easy. I don't remember much of what the VTuber grade 3s do or what the strides do, to be honest. Would have been fun to climb one last rank. I think that is going to be it for today, because I am... Kai's joy is out. VTuber vibes are rancid. 100%. We have gotten an achievement of some kind. Oh, we played a rank fight. I recently saw that when I checked, I saw that I only had to play like 20. I only had to win. Yeah, here. I only had to win 20 more games to have won 3,000 ranked games. But I must have won like 18 already, because now it's up to 2,997. So I only have 3 more games before I hit 3,000. So that's kind of... Because I remember I saw this achievement a while back and I was like, oh, I'm never gonna get to 3,000 probably. But now I am basically there. 43rd place. That is not bad.
時間が
おはよう。君は朝起きてすぐにファイトができるのかな。元気だね。前回のアンダー20とはチームメンバーが違う。
Yeah.
問題はない。どちらも
Do I
相
have
当な
plans
実力者
next week? I don't think so. So the game is, the last day is gonna be Friday, Japanese time. The game shuts down at 12 a.m. on Friday. So it should be like middle of the night here. Yeah, we talked about this before, but I thought like on Thursday night I was gonna stream like all night. Like I might start around dinner time, my time, and then just stream and stream and stream like until the game shuts down. So that's the plan for Thursday night. But I definitely want to stream again before then, preferably more than one more time. Yeah, dawn of the final week, definitely. Like tomorrow, sorry, on Monday, it's gonna be just 4 more days. So yeah, maybe I'll stream tomorrow again, honestly. Because doing this time, like doing it from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. has worked like super well. I don't know if it's gonna work as well tomorrow because it will be a Monday Japanese time. But I'll definitely try to stream either tomorrow or on Monday. And then preferably again one more time before Thursday. Because we are running out of time. There's only a few days left. So yeah. But it was really fun playing Overlord. The one thing I have left on my bucket list is that I wanted to play Angel Feather. So I guess I will try to look into playing Angel Feather soon. Sometime this week. And then on Thursday I just feel like I'm probably just gonna play like a ton of different decks, like just kind of cycle through all the decks that I have. Play different ones. Just try and climb as much as possible. I'm probably just gonna play a lot of Gear Chronicle, a lot of Link Joker, and maybe I will also use this deck because I thought this deck was really fun and I thought it did surprisingly well. So that would be very fun. And for Thursday, I also have some plans that I might get like some food, and get a lot of snacks, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to stream for like 12 hours or whatever it's gonna be. It's probably not gonna be 12 hours, but it might be like 8 hours or 9 hours or something like that. So yeah, I definitely need to... Angel Feather would be fun. Yeah, I should definitely look into it because it's such a different deck. It's got... The one thing that scares me about playing it is that it is very difficult. So I definitely need to build a deck and then maybe play for a few hours off stream to kind of get back into like the groove of playing it. So that's kind of why I've been, I've been kind of putting it off because it's definitely the most difficult deck that has been like on my to-do list of decks. But I definitely want to play it for at least one stream. And even if it's a complete disaster, then I guess that will be part of the entertainment that I provide. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, we'll have a few more streams before before it's all over. So thanks again for coming, and goodbye, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.